here and you're witnessing this for me, because I feel like this is almost like therapy. It's a very important part of my process. Hopefully it's interesting for you as well. We are onto egg cycle number 3, IVF cycle number 3. I am cooking myself some pasta. I checked in with Steven. He's having a lovely time out on the water today. You can see it's a gorgeous day out there. He says the water is warm, feels like a bathtub. It's exactly the kind of weather that I would love to be out in as well. So IVF cycle number 1 failed. IVF cycle number 2 failed. Now it's time for IVF cycle number 3, and we are full steam ahead. We're not waiting. I know how to get my medications. I feel like I know what I'm doing at this point. I feel like I have a handle on the cadence of things. However, my doctor and I had a discussion after the second cycle and the follicle that I lost. She said, your ovaries are not responding to the thousands and thousands of dollars of medications that we are prescribing to you to try to wake them up, try to get as much out of them as possible, try to wring the towel of the ovaries and get all the eggs out. Your ovaries, they're not having it. They don't care. They just like, oh, you want me to produce an egg? Oh, okay, well, here you go. She dials me back for the third and final round of IVF stimulation egg farming cycle that we're going to do. We'll probably end up with the same number of eggs in the end. It was a breath of fresh air not to have to think about every single night at the same time having to inject myself, mix these medications together, inject them, do the alcohol swab, do this, do that, like be in a place where I can do it. Also, with the low dose medication cycle, it was Clomid, by the way. Clomid was what they put me on for my last IVF stimulation cycle. With Clomid, they did not need to bring me in every other day to do an ultrasound and blood work, which was fantastic because it was holidays. That allowed me enough time where I wasn't going to be having to run to the doctors every single day to go see my family in Oregon. So during this last round of IVF, was able to go see my family. I saw my parents. I saw my grandmother, who is 88 years old and still going strong. I saw my sister. I saw her 2 little boys, my 2 nephews. I saw my aunt and my uncle and cousins, and I was just so I felt so embraced by the love of family during that cycle, during the last IVF cycle. There was one injection that I had to do, and that one injection happened to coincide with the last day that I was in traveling, so I had to carry it with me the whole time, which I did. I did the trigger shot when I was back here in Miami after seeing my family, and I went in for the blood work, and I knew what to look for now because my doctor had told me that she had looked for a dip the first time, which is why she knew that I had lost the follicle. Anyway, my blood work looked great. All the hormone levels were rising as they should be. We went in, they got 2 eggs, and one of them fertilized. Same exact the first time, but it didn't make it to the 5-day blastocyst stage. So we lost We lost that one too. So that was the third round of egg farming. And at that point, I only went through 3 egg farming IVF stimulation cycles. However, the best results, 2 out of 3, were always that we got 1 egg, 1 mature egg that fertilized. And in my mind, this is a lot of effort and this is a lot of energy and a lot of expensive costs that we are putting on this to basically get the exact same result as if we would have just tried naturally. Right? Because I'm still ovulating. I still have a regular period. I'm still producing an egg a month. And that is what we're getting, even doing IVF, even with all of these expensive processes and procedures and medications and all of this like over focus on what is happening. Maybe it's better that you don't know. So it didn't seem worth it to me to do anymore. So I'm not saving any for the future. If we got something, then I want to get pregnant. And I only want to get pregnant once. So like, this is not, it's not making sense for me anymore. So that was my last IVF stimulation cycle. And I felt at peace with it because I was able to try. I was able to do as much as I am able to do and am willing to do and believe it's right to do. I opened the avenues as much as I could with the resources that I had. And so I am at peace with the results of what happened. I am at peace with the fact that I will not have a child that has my genetics. I'm okay with that. I still want to have a family, and I still want to pursue the avenues to have a family. And I still want to be a part of the process of creating that family. And now that I have tried, and we have done as much as what was medically possible at this time in my life to get my genetics and Steven's genetics together, I'm never gonna wonder that we didn't try hard enough. I'm gonna know that I did the best that I could, and this was the avenue that we were supposed to be going down. Now I am ready to choose a donor egg. I feel good about it. I feel excited about it. I feel like it is a gift of fertility that someone else is giving to me, and I feel blessed to be able to have the opportunity for the option of using donor eggs. And also too, you know, bless these women that I can see the blessing that your youth and your fertility gives you. I can see it. 20 years from now, looking back, I can see what a blessing you have. And my God, I appreciate the fact that there are women that, for whatever reason, I do not care the reason, that you would be willing to share that blessing with someone who wasn't able to realize it at the time is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm not there yet. This is just my IVF journey. This is just my IVF journey story. I'm not even at the donor egg transfer phase. This is just me getting ready for donor eggs by doing this. How IVF got me ready for the donor egg process, I guess, probably is basically what this journey was all about. I've got pasta cooking. Thank you for joining me on this journey of explorations of my own thoughts about just trying to share what happened during that time. It seems so succinct when you just say, oh, I did 3 cycles of IVF stimulation. They didn't work, so now we're doing egg donation. That's a very short version of basically what happened. But there's so much more to it than that. And I think about this every time I listen to someone else share their IVF stories on YouTube. There's so much to every decision that you make, to every injection that you take, every change in medication, everything that I know goes unsaid for the most part. It's really hard for me not to say those things, I find. So I hope that you have appreciated the level of detail that I've insisted upon in this video. And I hope that you found some value in it. And I hope that you also share my feeling that in every story that is, XYZ happened and so ABC happened. Like, there's so much more to it than that. There's so much more that you're dealing with to get to those points. Even if on the outside they may have looked like that was the expected outcome. Everything that happened to me was expected, was average, was not abnormal. But my experience of going through it was still an experience. Statistics don't tell you how you're going to feel when you're doing it for the first time. Just because they come out average doesn't mean that they're any less important or any less monumental and life-changing to the person that's experiencing it. I have appreciated the time and the space to share my story with you here today. There hasn't been a lot of stops and starts to this whole conversation, so hopefully Editing Brittany can put it together in a way that makes sense to you and you're happy with. I am very hungry and I need to get some fuel in me before I go out this evening, but I'm really, really happy that I shared this story. I really hope you got something out of it. Please like and subscribe if it does. It's delicious. You guys have a great evening.